Funny thing happened to me when I went to go pick up my copy of the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition for the Nintendo Switch. If you follow me on Twitter, X, if you follow our YouTube shorts, you already know where this story is going, but this is something I wanted to expand upon. See, I have been, I would say, a defender of GameStop, at least our local GameStop, for a number of years because we've actually had a good store. I've told the story on the channel how our local store, the manager had his staff call me the day that pre-orders, or actually the day before pre-orders were going to go live for the PlayStation 5. That's the only reason why I got one on launch day, on how they would generally keep stuff aside for me if I knew that I would want like some signage or things like that. Our store was an outlier, and the store I'm talking about is the one located in Champaign, Illinois. Well, let's just say those days are over, and this store royally sucks now. And there's a few reasons why I'm making this at this point in time. Now, I've talked about this location and how recently, I'll have the link for you up there, where like they decided for several days they just didn't want to have to process through their order shipment and let customers know that the PlayStation Portal was there. That actually happened. We called the store because we didn't get a call that the PlayStation Portals were in, asked what was going on, and they're like, oh, they're not here yet. Oh, they've been delayed. Oh, they're still on the truck. And, finally, eventually found out that, no, they just didn't want to unload the shipment, the lazy such and such. I'll get into this more in a second. I had issues where they did go ahead and actually set aside some graphics for me for Mario Day from 2023. And then called me later on that evening after I went to pick them up and say, oh, yeah, we need those back. The POP kit we got wasn't right, so can you bring those back? You know what? Screw-ups happen. I took it back, and I got it back afterwards. That's developing a relationship with your local stores. But they just continue to drop the ball here. And the most recent one that I've found out is, well, there's a couple of them. So this store I had called several months ago for something. I can't even remember what it was. Actually, it was about this time in 2023, so summer 2023. I was calling looking for something. Phone rang and rang and rang. Would get the message that, no associates are available. Please try your call again later. This was in normal business hours. Later on, as I'm in the store asking the question, whatever, I don't even remember what I was asking at the time. But the phone was ringing and ringing and ringing. And the guy, there was one person working in the store. All he was doing was dropping F-bombs of how he was sick and tired of effing customers calling and how he wishes he could just take the phone off the hook, and he wasn't answering any more effing calls that day. I haven't seen him in the store very often since then, if at all. He may be gone. So I went to go pick up my copy of the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. And as I pulled in the lot, first I'm thinking, it's kind of weird. I haven't gotten a phone call to let me know that, hey, pre-orders are open or they're available on the 18th. Don't forget to come in and get it. If you don't pick it up by Sunday, it's fair game. Well, that was strange. They didn't do that with the Portal pre-order that I did either. So as I'm pulling in the parking lot, I look, I'm like, are those gates down? And this is like just a little bit after 6:30 in the evening. Well, son of a bleep, the gates are down. That damn store's closed. I'm like, all right, fine. It's got to be someone called in sick. This store has had staffing issues for over 18 months at this point. Again, one of the best stores to one of the worst stores. So I was expecting to see hey, sorry, closed early, be open tomorrow at, 10 a.m. because it's a Friday night. Saturday, you figure 10 to 8 o'clock would be normal hours. Nope, regular hours now, noon till 6, 7 days a week. What the hell is going on with this location? What is going on with this company? Now, I did call the other store that's about 45 minutes to an hour away from me in Bloomington, Illinois. They're still open till 9 o'clock. Now, the store in Champaign, Illinois, it's on the main commercial area in town, or the main, not commercial, I guess it would be commercial, but it'd be, where all the stores are. That's where Target and Best Buy and, Meijer and Walmart and Sam's Club and Costco, they're all basically on this same strip in town. In fact, it's in the front of a Meijer parking lot. For those of you not familiar, Meijer is like a Walmart, just a little bit better quality, I would say. So, all right. What's going on here? It's not in a high crime area, so it's not like they've got to close early so they can get the gates down so they don't get robbed after dark or anything like that. And, I mean, COVID's not really that much of an issue unless you're the former vice president of the United States. I'm not going to get into politics, but, for the most part, COVID isn't really an issue, so no reason to have restricted hours there. What is going on? So, like I mentioned, I did call the store in Bloomington, and they're open normal hours, and they weren't even aware that Champaign was now on such limited hours. They had not heard of that. They had not heard of any store being closed that early and opening that late in the day. Now, 12 noon, I've known that for a while. That's been probably a good 6-8 months. This location hasn't opened until noon, 5 days a week, and then normal weekend hours. But now they're not opening until noon, Monday through Friday as well. Until 6, okay, on a Sunday, I can see that. On a Saturday, maybe, but generally you would think at least 7 o'clock. Now, I'm not a heartless prick here. I've worked my fair share of retail. I spent 5 years working at Radio Shack, for example, in the 90s. I worked every day, open to close, by myself for a lot of that time because I didn't have another key holder. I couldn't take a day off. And we weren't allowed to close the store early or open the store late, even if there was less, customer traffic coming through the door. If it's one of those where it doesn't justify having the store open between those hours, then that's a pretty serious concern. If it's one of those where they don't have staff to keep the store open beyond those hours, that's another really big concern. That to me falls on not just corporate, but from a district level. What's the district manager doing to get anyone into those stores? And, anyone out there who's followed Camelot 331, he has told horror stories about working in GameStop as, just a sales manager, or not even a sales manager, but just a salesperson, assistant store manager, key holder, store manager, pseudo district manager, or basically taking care of multiple stores. I don't understand what is going on with this particular location. And the closest store is 45 minutes to an hour away to the east of, or to the west of us, going to Bloomington from Champaign. There's nothing going to the east until, I don't even think there's one in Danville anymore, which is another half an hour, 45 minutes the other way. To the south, the closest store is in Mattoon, Illinois, and that's almost an hour away. So they really should have the market cornered for the core GameStop customer. Now, is the core GameStop customer even exist anymore? That's the question. Have they pissed off so many people by getting rid of Mitch, the excellent manager that they had here, and cycling through so many people that people just don't care anymore? I think that's a lot of it. I think that people have given up on this location. And I'll tell you, frankly, I pretty much have now. I will not be renewing my GameStop Pro card. Whatever. I don't care about it anymore. I've gotten enough deals, and I use the $5 off coupon, and I still like going to a brick and mortar store. But if the store's not open when I need to go there, why the hell should I be a paid member for it? I don't read the magazine. The magazine's terrible and has been for years. Would much rather read Old School Gamer magazine. Those guys actually care. They know what they're talking about, and they're writing about stuff that I care about. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's, and I've said this over and over. I'm not sure if it's just this location, but I know it is this location that's having a very significant issue. And, I can't support them. I just can't. I'm going to take my money and go elsewhere. It sucks that Best Buy is getting rid of physical media, because at least there was physical media there at GameStop. I'll go to Live Action Games. I'll go support Adrian. I'll get the stuff through him. The nice thing about going to GameStop is, you would get pre-order bonuses and whatnot that he doesn't always get access to, but, why bother? The store's not open when I needed to be there. It just, to me, this location is worthless. It just is. And it's unfortunate because, again, it used to be really outstanding. So, Sorry for the tirade, sorry for the rant, but it's just one of those that when I was done, like, I debated about doing the short. I backed out and pulled into the parking spot several times, like, I'm going to, no, I'm not. It's like when I saw Radio Shack kind of go down the tubes and Suncoast Motion Picture Company, both companies that I worked for. It's like, at their peak, it was a destination. It was someplace people specifically went to because of the culture, the service, the atmosphere. Well, there's no culture because they can't keep employees. There's no service, and there's no atmosphere since it's never open. So let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Like I say, I don't like doing these rant videos, but it's just unfortunate is the best way that I can say it. So, and again, if you want to see the video where I talked about how they lost the PlayStation Portal pre-orders, I'll have those linked for you right up here in the upper corner. Make sure to check it out. I'm sure you're going to find it interesting.